So I am a counseling psychologist. So I study psychological issues and trying to find ways to help people. And I usually do so by understanding cultural differences. And today I'm going to share one of my studies. And then let me start showing you a photo first. Is it half empty or half filled? Half full? The answer is half full. Because that's what we learned. That's the right answer. Because being more optimistic, think this as a half full is better than thinking half empty, because that's pessimistic view. So optimism is highly valued in here, especially Western culture. And I noticed, so I'm from Korea and I studied in Japan. So since I started living here, I noticed people in here, in general, very optimistic compared to those folks in Korea or Japan. And students, same. They're quite optimistic about their academic performance, their future goals. And those people, students in Korea or Japan, sometimes they seem pessimistic even. They're quite critical about their goals and their ability to pursue their life goals. And I wonder, so does that mean those people in Korea or Japan, those students achieve less in school? Well, not necessarily. In each culture, some people achieve better, some people achieve less. Because it depends on what they believe. If they believe being pessimistic, more critical about themselves works better, then they're gonna follow that notion. But here, obviously, being optimistic works better. That's what people believe. So there's no right or wrong notion. Just people follow their own cultural notion. And what I'm more interested in, though, like those who do not receive the benefit from their own cultural notion. So for example, one of my first study, so I asked students, what is your estimated final grade in the course at the beginning of the semester? Around 80% of students said, I'm gonna get A or A minus. Let's check reality. I collected data at the end of semester, after semester, the actual grade, and only 20% of students actually got an A or A minus. So clearly, all optimistic students achieve what they wish for. So my research more focused on critically reviewing the benefit of the cultural notion. So I start here, America, the benefit of optimism. And optimism is obviously beneficial for many people in here, because optimism helps you feel better. It feels good right away. You can do it. And also it increases your self-esteem, which is really important in this culture. But at the same time, research shows some optimistic people, highly optimistic people, actually use the optimism as excuse to avoid what they need to do, so procrastinating. And also, those people have tendency to not utilizing or not paying attention ongoing new information. So here, my next study. So I asked students, same question, what is your expected final grade? This time I asked them throughout the semester, 5 different time points. So I asked beginning of the semester and towards right before the final exam. And this time I asked them, what is your actual grade at the time you answered each survey? This is their actual grade, each time point. What about then their expected final grade? Are they maintained all the way? Here it is. This is their expected grade. This means they actually changed the estimation from A to a little slow, still high, but they adjust. And actually, this is not a bad thing at all. In real life, when you're working on the project, for example, you need to see the new information, because sometimes you need to change your plan, be more strategic. So actually being able to down, expectation down, is not a bad thing at all. So I call this functional shift in optimism. So those who not able to achieve less, those students do not change this functional shift. They maintain the high optimism all the way through. So those people likely have procrastination issues as well. So in this really short presentation, what I can say is the benefit of optimism may be depending on where you are in your work, the stage, your achievement process. For example, if you are in initial stage, optimism might be beneficial for you because it's going to bring you hope. However, once you start the actual working stage, optimism may be not so beneficial anymore. You maybe need to be critical about yourself because it's going to help you prepare for the worst. So my research line, I'm interested in develop the program to promote more strategic use of their own cultural notion. Well, I have still 1 minute left, but so what I believe is if you don't want to be the victim of your published notion, which is optimism works in this culture, be optimistic at the beginning, but once you get in, a little bit pessimistic. Thank you.